Good day guys, today I'll show you how to change engine oil and oil filter, and I try to do it without spilling a drop of oil on the ground. So we get under the car and finding the drain plug. The drain plug can be unscrewed with a 13mm socket, you see. So we are unscrewing the drain plug from the oil pan. To drain the oil, I use the old oil can and a funnel which I made from a bottleneck. I just cut an old bottle and made a funnel to drain the oil through it into the plastic can. Of course, the capacity of this plastic can is 4 liters and the capacity of the engine is more than 5 liters. Jaguar specifications give about 6 liters and a half, but in reality it's about 5 liters and a half, maybe 5 liters, because half a liter is into the oil filter. The oil is draining into the can and I control the level of oil into the can so that to change the can as soon as it is filled. So I see that it's nearly filled. I put the drain plug into its place, stop draining and change the plastic can. You see, I use 5W40 oil instead of 5W30, but 5W40 is not prohibited. It's also allowed in hot climate where I drive my Jaguar X-type. Besides, my Jaguar is 18 years old and its engine is not new to use a 5W30, which is quite thin. I put the drain plug into the cap of the oil can and leave it for 15 minutes. So the remnants of the oil are drained from the engine pan, you see. After the oil drained from the engine, I put the drain plug into the drain hole and move to the oil filter. Of course, I cannot unscrew the oil filter with bare hands. I need a special tool, but I haven't got one, so I will show you how to remove the oil filter using an iron stick and an old belt or an old rope. So you see, I fasten an old belt around the iron stick from my set of sockets. And I wind the belt around the oil filter 4 or 5 times. We'll tighten it with one hand and unscrew the oil filter with another hand. It's quite convenient to tighten it with one hand, you see, and unscrewing the oil filter with an iron stick. I only need to turn it just a little bit. After that I will continue with hands. Now we take a piece of old cotton and put it under the oil filter so that to prevent it from spilling on the exhaust system pipes. You see, it goes quite properly under the filter. It can be done quite easily. So I'll show you how can I remove the oil filter. And prevent oil from spilling on the ground and on the exhaust pipe. I turn oil filter and the oil is draining straight into the funnel. I almost removed it, and now the oil filter will drop into the funnel. I poured the remnants of oil from the oil filter into the can and leave the can under the cotton so that the oil could drain from the engine for some time. During this time I prepared the new oil filter. I greased its rubber gasket with a drop of oil and halfly filled it with oil. You see the process of oil draining from the engine, and also you can notice that not a drop has spilled on the ground. Now I remove the cotton You see the rain began. I had to stop taking video and go on taking it after some time. You see the new oil filter, and now after wiping the oil filter place with a duster, I installed a new filter on its place. You know it must be tightened 3/4 of a ton after the gasket touched the engine. You see, everything was done quite neatly. Now I also tighten the drain plug, but the video is quite of low quality. It's only 20 seconds because I didn't notice that the camera was turned to the low quality mode. As for pouring the oil into the engine, it was quite easy. I poured 5.5 liters, and I accelerated the video so that not to make it quite boring for you. Just I can tell you that I use the Fuchs engine oil instead of Shell, because it's also of a good quality and a little bit cheaper. So I showed you how I changed oil and oil filter on my Jaguar X-type without spilling a drop, and if you liked it, just subscribe to the channel.